How to obtain a CDL. Going to take you through the steps to obtain a CDL. Understanding the commercial driver's license is a specialized license required to operate a commercial vehicle. The reason for it is to ensure safety and compliance with regulations. To become a semi-truck driver, you need to have a Class A CDL, which is what we're going to focus on mostly today. I've been driving for 20 years, coaching truckers since 2008 at lifeasatrucker.com and at the Life as a Trucker YouTube channel. And I started this all because I realized people were getting into trucking and didn't really know what to expect, and it led to them being unhappy, having issues with relationships, health, and money, job satisfaction. And that's why the first thing I like to do, guys, is I like to say, consider if you are compatible for the CDL. That's number one. And in order to do this, you need to know what it's like to be a truck driver. So I want you to think about the fact that you'll be away from home. There's a lack of predictability in trucking. There's lots of driving, and there's irregular hours. Some of the disadvantages of trucking: it could be a lonely lifestyle for some. It can destroy a fragile relationship. It could take a year to get the pay you expect. Some recruiters lie about how much you're going to get paid. Some companies lie. So you got to be on the right page about that. It can make it easy for you to get out of shape, but you can learn how to overcome all of these things. The pros are there's no cap on the income. You don't have to drive to work, which means you save gas, you save money on the commute, lower expenses for clothing, because there's no one to impress. It's not like they're going to say, you wore that Monday, you wore that yesterday, you wore that last week. None of that. Easy to study, personal development. The reason why is because you're controlling your environment. You get to choose what you listen to, who's around you for most of the day, most of the time. Easy to stack money because you don't have to have the same bills as a person who is renting. You can stay on the truck if you want to, and I talk about that in stacking. The benefits of obtaining a CDL: great insurance, dental, retirement. Again, you can live anywhere, and it's a way to escape a lack of opportunity. Say a lot of rural areas, there's a McDonald's and a Hardee's and maybe a warehouse that you have to choose from to work at. Maybe you don't like any of them. With trucking, you can escape all of that. And you can escape a negative environment. Sometimes you might find yourself surrounded by a group of people who are constantly pulling at you to go out and act a fool, to put it lightly. Well, now you have a way you can get out of that environment. You have a positive way that you can do something about that. And it's good for creating wealth. As a truck driver, the bank will give you a loan easily. You can buy one property, you can buy two properties, you can buy three properties, put a renter in it that's going to pay your mortgage off. We talk about that later in another video. But you have to meet the requirements. In North Carolina, you got to be 21 to drive across state lines. Well, federally, you got to be 21 to go interstate. And you have to pass a DOT physical, no more than one driving violation within a year, serious driving violation within a year, no more than one serious criminal offense within a year, no DUIs within a year. And you have to sign up at the federal website, the ELDT website. It's possible that you might be able to get a job with more than one driving violation or criminal charge, but you're really limiting the companies that's going to hire you. So that's why I put it like this. I don't want you to get your CDLs and then you spend all that money to get your CDLs and you can't get a job. Age limitations, I just went over that. You got to be 21. Health requirements, I just said you had to get a DOT physical. And you can't be taking any medications that's going to affect your thinking. or your response time. Background check, like I said, they're going to check your criminal record. The reason for that is because you'll be responsible for high value goods, and you'll have access to facilities sometimes with no one around. So they're going to be particular about who they hire. Understanding the CDL classification. To drive a semi, you need a Class A. That's 26,000 pounds or more combined vehicle. And for singles over 26,000, you need a Class B. Now, I recommend you get your endorsements. Your endorsements is going to give you more opportunity to make more money. And endorsements in North Carolina are an additional $5 each per year. You got a T for triples and doubles, H for hazmat, N for tankers, and you get an X for both tankers and hazmat. You're going to have to get your permit just like you will for your regular driver's license. So you need to get on down to the local DMV, get your driver's manual. Yours is not going to look like that, I'm pretty sure. But you want to study that thing so that you can pass. It might seem a little bit overwhelming, y'all, but it's just a process. You just got to stick with it, stick to it, keep studying. You can find sample videos on YouTube that will help you out if you get tired of just reading a book. When you apply for the CDL, you got to have ID, social security number, or proof of residencies, like water bill, electric bill. Depending on the state, they might want you to bring more. North Carolina, the learner's permit is $25.50. The application for the CDL is $51.50. $25 per year for the CDL. It's $125 because it's for a 5-year period. For the CDL training program, you got to make sure they're on the list as a provider. You go to the FMCSA website, you can click on that QR code or just Google them. You're going to have options for getting your training. You're going to primarily have community college, private school, or free program. Community college is probably going to be the cheapest. Private school is going to be the most expensive, but offer the most start dates for classes. Free programs, you got to commit to the company for about a year. Benefits of training is they have a process that they've been working on to help you understand what's going on. And the alternative to that would be like a mom and pop's deal where who knows what they're going to teach. Some of them are good though. And to give you an idea why they have this site that they register, you can see here that these schools were delisted. It's telling you that there are people out there with schools that are not really doing a good job. And you got to get certified yourself by signing up to the Alright, so when you prepare for the CDL test, make sure you get plenty of rest. If I were you, I would study it in 3-hour blocks or less. I went back to school. That was the process I used. Made the Honor Society. A study showed that if you try to study for more than 3 hours, then you actually do a poor job of retaining the information. Skills tests will check and make sure you know how to drive, back to the dock, maneuver and all that. It might seem a little challenging, you just gotta keep at it. The written test, hey, you just study it. So to get your CDLs, you gotta get 80% or better on a written test and pass the controls and driving, the basic controls and driving skills. They'll give you your paper CDLs right then and send you the real joints in the mail within a few weeks. You'll have to renew your DOT medical certification every 2 years. You want to keep your record clean, no violations, so that you can go to the companies that's going to pay you the most money. You will get a notification about renewing your DOT physical and your CDL before expiration, but it's something that you should keep track of yourself. While you're out here, continue to learn, ask questions to other drivers so you know of opportunities that might be better than the one you're at, especially if you're unhappy. Now let's go over some health tips. Like I said, these are issues that cause most drivers problems. Make sure you get exercise if you come out here. This is like bonus training because you already got your CDL now. But make sure you get exercise, watch what you're eating. More than 60% of the drivers are obese. Truckers are 50% more likely to get diabetes. 25% of truckers have high blood. 25% of truckers report chronic pain. 25%, might be 22% of truckers report mental related issues. But most of this can be avoided. 30 laps around the truck is 1 mile. And make it a mission to get 1 mile in the morning, 1 mile in the evening at minimum. That's going to help you out for all the sitting that you do. Processed food is what's killing most people. Cut it out, cut out the sugar, cut out the bread, get your exercise, get your rest. Take the food with you. You have pots like this that plug into the cigarette lighter that you can use to cook. And you have refrigerators that you can get. Relationship tips. If you're in a relationship, then you're going to have to be intentional about nurturing that relationship. If you're not in a relationship, I suggest you stay single for the first year, maybe 3 years. If you are catching up, you're getting rid of some debt, and you're trying to stack up some bills to invest in something, why get into a relationship? And then you have to split your time and your effort and your focus between the relationship and that specific goal. Get that done first, and you'll have more fun in the relationship, more freedom, less stress, and you'll understand what's going on with trucking. And if you do get involved, then screen well. You need to think about the characteristics that you want. Do you want somebody that's needy? Do you want somebody that's greedy? Do you want somebody that's always taking and you're always giving? Nah, you don't want that. So if you think about that in advance, and as soon as you see the signs, then you know to get up out of here. Know the signs of cheating. What are they? Well, if you get up in a relationship and you see a change in behavior, a change in attitude, a change in level of interest, that's a sign that they're involved with somebody else. And there's a red flag in general. Like I said earlier, if you're always giving and they're always taking, that's not the type of person that you want to be involved with. That's just an energy drain. Money tips, another thing that causes a lot of problems with truckers. All of a sudden, you got a steady job, you're making good income. Don't create bills. Don't go to buying stuff just because of that. Don't go and buy a vehicle just because you got that. Don't go and rent just because you got that. Save your money and invest it. Buy a crib instead of renting. Pay off your debt, build your credit, save for emergency. I say have 3 banks. Why? I have a local bank, I have a credit union, and I have a national bank. That's a nice assortment. Each one offers different programs. If you're buying real estate or you need any other type of service, really, they can have different types of programs that's available. And with the national bank, of course, you can go anywhere and find a bank if you need to. If you need to. And invest for the future. Set a certain side of money, set a certain amount of money aside so that you have it to invest. And put a certain amount in investment, but put a certain amount aside. Say you decide you want to buy a truck. Say you decide you want to buy the house. Well, you need to have that money there available to take advantage of opportunities. The market crash, then you might want to get a good chunk of stock in your favorite company. So have money set aside so you'll be able to invest. Suppose you bought your first home and rented it out while you stayed on the road in the truck. Then you did it again in year 3 and 4. Between year 5 and 10, you can have 5 rentals, all of them cash flowing. And now you're making money outside of trucking. You're building wealth. You would have a money tree. I kill me. Congratulations. If you're ready, trucking is going to be a wild and rewarding journey for you. So in the meanwhile, if you have questions or you need coaching, come to lifeisatrucker.com and you'll see on the right side there is a form that you can fill out. Also, if you're on YouTube, you can put some comments in the video. Some of the stuff you'll see covered on YouTube and at the website. I haven't even released this yet. I'll probably release it today. Best trucking job, GPT. I don't know why I put chat right there. I need to edit that. But there you go, guys. Come on out. Now you hear people say don't do it, da 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 da. These people are miserable and they didn't understand what they were getting into. And they hate that they're still there and they can't do anything different, unfortunately. But I'm going to try to help you not be in that predicament. That's why I say have a game plan, set money aside. And I didn't say it here. That's in the next video, Make Trucking a Successful Career. But actually think about what you want to do after trucking. I'll go ahead and give you that right now. Because if you don't, then you can mess around and be here like I am, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Trucking is addictive. And once you do it for a while, it gets in your system. And you look for, some people love it, some people hate it. But I think even the ones that hate it is addictive. But anyway, that's all for this video. We'll talk more in the next video.